The wait is over. Dive into Audible's most anticipated collection, The Best of 2025, featuring top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals across all genres. Our editors have carefully curated this year's must-listens, from brilliant hidden gems to the buzziest new releases. Every title in this collection has earned its spot. This is your go-to for the absolute best in 2025 audio entertainment. Whether you love thrillers, romance, or nonfiction, your next favorite listen awaits. Discover why there's more to imagine when you listen at audible.com/bestoftheyear.
Santa's Little Helpers, Jacob Hester and
Matt Flynn,
are taking over Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota. Tune in for some naughty and nice sports talk this Christmas season. Live from
Raising Cane's
studio, here's Jacob Hester and
Matt Flynn.
Yo! There you go, Cassie.
Yo!
There you go. Welcome in, OTB. Tuesday, right? Yep. Tuesday morning. Here live from the Raising Cane studio. Jake, Cassie, and Tay here with you. Alondra and Flynn already starting their Christmas vacation, so hopefully they traveled safely and got to their destination. Alondra was stuck in the Baton Rouge airport, which is maybe a little bit of karma, Tay. If you remember, she was talking about it yesterday. I don't know if that was on the air or off the air. The limited options you have in the Baton Rouge airport, and she was like, I would hate to get stuck there.
It was right after the show. She's like, all you have is those wow wings and like popcorn.
Yeah.
And I was like, the good news is it's not your connector. You're going in and out. And she's like, yeah, we're not going to be stuck there. We're just, flight got delayed.
Yeah. So hopefully the popcorn stand was hitting last night in the Baton Rouge airport.
I had Annie Ann's pretzels for dinner one time in the D.C. airport. That was our dinner. We got delayed 10 hours.
That's more of, luck. Like you get to eat Annie Ann's. I don't know. Maybe the popcorn stand is hitting. I don't really know it like that. I just walk by it a lot. So hopefully they got there safely. But we have a big show planned. Tay mentioned we got Connor O'Gara joining us in hour number 1. Of course, Nick Underhill also going to join us in hour number 3. So a ton to get to here. But before we do, Cassie, how we doing? Everything good? Getting ready for the holidays?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm planning on, I got a Christmas party tonight. So
okay.
I'm excited.
Christmas shopping done?
I actually did get all of my Christmas shopping done. I'm very impressed with myself.
You should be. It's only the 23rd. I mean, typically there's a lot of people scrambling today. Today's like the day, everybody's probably off work outside of us, and they are trying to, like traffic yesterday in Baton Rouge. I don't know if y'all got out. It was bad.
I think I missed it.
Yeah, it was bad all day long. So good for you. Yeah. Good for you. Tay, are we done?
The wife, yes.
Okay, well, hey.
The parents, no, but I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm like, I literally just have to go to the store and pick it up. It doesn't have to be ordered. So essentially, yes, I'm done.
Are your parents the type that they want like a gift, or do they want a gift card? Because my mom wants a gift card.
My mom wants a gift card. My dad will never use a gift card.
That's true. Yeah,
my mom.
My dad probably wouldn't either.
A gift card hates to see my mother coming.
Yeah, mine too. She loves them, and she can spend it whatever, obviously whatever she wants. My dad got a couple poncho shirts, so he enjoyed that. Cassie, parents' gift cards are thoughtful gift.
I'm about the same. My mom will use a gift card. My dad would never. He's got like a stack of gift cards on his dresser.
Probably expired.
Never use, probably.
Yeah. So Tay, what are we getting your dad? He doesn't listen. Actually, he does. Don't do that.
I'm actually in between like two things, anyways. But it'll
a Bucks jersey and a Cowboys jersey.
No.
Oh.
Those would be bad gifts.
He's a Cowboys fan, right?
He's a Cowboys fan. Yeah, but he feels the same about Jerry as I do. I mean, maybe not as gung-ho of like, quitting the team and finding another one, but he's a little down as well. So it'd be either something LSU or if not that, I'll think of something else.
Yep. All right. I got 5 kiddos. I think we're done. But as I guess y'all don't know this. You'll learn this over time. You'll get everything out. You'll get everything ready and be like, oh, blank. Little Johnny's missing a present compared to the other 4. So we got to go through that tonight. Well, not tonight, today, because if you do it tonight, you're up a creek without a paddle.
Well, y'all are labeling the gifts, right? Like Jackson Hudson, like it's written on the outside.
Well, Katie's got a great system. Like she's got a checklist and everything, but like there was probably one that I was supposed to get, type deal, and I hope I got it. We'll see. It's a big we'll see.
You can't go find the Turbo Man on Christmas Eve, Jake. Doesn't work.
My Turbo Man nestled under the tree.
So we're watching that tomorrow night. It's kind of our new little tradition for me and Victoria.
Turbo Man.
Well, past 2 years, we've just happened to watch Jingle All the Way on Christmas Eve. We're going to watch it over the weekend, and I was like, hey, let's wait.
Okay.
Let's just respect that. Let's do it on Christmas Eve. So
that might be something we might do that tonight because the boys all like Jingle All the Way.
Love it.
Cassie, have you ever seen Jingle All the Way?
I have seen it, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
I think you should make it tradition.
Maybe I'll watch it.
You and Adam tonight, Jingle All the Way.
Get the Stitch Christmas sweater that you broke out. Okay, watch Jingle All the Way.
All right, so hopefully everybody's done with their Christmas shopping. If you're not, it is okay. You do have today, and I'll give you a little pro tip. Don't forget about like DoorDash and Uber. They will deliver gifts to you, to your work if you don't want to get them to the house because obviously like then the person finds out the gift. But if you're like, there's no way I can get all this done, they will do that for you. Little pro tip there if you did maybe miss the timing a little bit. All right, well, speaking of timing, Father Time is not caught up with my guy Phillip Rivers. I don't know if y'all watched Monday Night Football last night. Now, the Colts lost by 21 points because the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, couldn't play dead in the Western. But Phillip, 23 of 35, 277, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, only took 2 sacks. So in 2 games back, he's only taken 3 sacks. And, again, one of those was on a bad snap. So really 2 sacks. It has been remarkable. Now, Brock Purdy was awesome as well. He threw for 5 touchdown passes. But Phillip, right at 8 yards per attempt, different than the first game plan. The 1 interception he threw for a pick 6, like Tyler Warren, my guy, you got to run a route. It's funny, like, and I hate to hate on a young player because he's talented. He'll be good. I haven't watched the Colts a ton. Tyler Warren's not very dynamic.
No, he's not.
Like his catch radius is very small. It's got to be right, like, in his inner circle for him to come down with it. He telegraphed that route. Even Troy Aikman pointed it out because Troy was talking about it. He's like, oh, yeah, you can't run it like that. So, unfortunately, that kind of ended the game there. And, again, he's very talented. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out. But, man, that was a game that if you made one mistake like that, you were going to lose because you couldn't get a stop. And, I mean, the Colts come out, and they're pushing the ball down the field. They're getting everybody involved. I mean, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Pittman came alive in the second half for a couple catches. But 49ers, who had already clinched a playoff spot, I mean, they get it done. And it was a fun Monday night game, though. And maybe for me personally, because obviously Phillip's my boy and that's my teammate, to see him at 44 years old go out there and throw for 277, that was a lot of fun. It was impressive. And I don't know how many more we get. I don't know if Riley Leonard's going to start so they can kind of get ready for the future. If he is maybe the future, I don't know. But Phillip can walk away saying he did something that every single person felt like was doubting him on, including guys that were backup quarterbacks that only played like in 6 career games. You know who you are. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of fun for me to watch my guy go out there, to see the family cheering, and for him to have that stage on a Monday night.
No, it was excellent. And if you came away from this game still hating on Phillip Rivers, then, well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that throw right here, Jake, we talked about it last week. Cam Newton saying it was a slap in the face to not get called. Cam Newton ain't never made a throw like that in his life in the NFL. Phillip Rivers is doing it. Phillip had 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah.
This is just the second touchdown. He had one a little bit later in the game as well. I mean, like, he was slinging it. This game was not on him. We talked about it yesterday. We thought their offense could maybe move the ball if Phillip played a good game, and he did, but Brock Purdy had 5 touchdowns. I mean, he now has 9 touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing as good as anybody in the league. Nothing you can do about that, but I thought I didn't think he was bad in the first start, but I thought he was much better last night.
Yeah, I agree, because they had a different game plan. Like, the first start was impressive because they were getting the ball out. He knew where to go with the ball. They didn't take sacks. They didn't push it down the field, but it was efficient. Like this one, they were actually pushing the ball down the field, making plays. And so, again, if that is it, I don't know. Because if he plays, if he starts against the Texans in the season finale, I'm missing work that day. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to watch that because, again, like he's not going to not coach his son, Gunner, his senior year. Gunner's a top 10 quarterback in the country, so he's not going to like go play and not coach that. So this is it. I think this is the final ride. So I definitely want to go check it out. They still have a very slim playoff chance, but you know what? Last night's loss did, Tay, for the Colts losing. It clinched the playoff spot for the Los Angeles Chargers.
That was my question for you yesterday. Like, how were we feeling? Were we like, when Phillip threw the pick, you were probably like, dang, and then a little grin came across the face. Like, okay,
no, I didn't want him to throw the pick. I told you I want him to throw for like 1,000 yards, but if the
receiver fumbled and that's how the ball was turned over or something.
And again, but I am glad that Troy Aikman, because I think Troy Aikman's the best that we have. Like he messed up one time last night, but look, I mess up a lot when you're in the booth. That happens. But I love when he's like, hey, no, this is why it happened. There's so many broadcasters that will they'll say it and then they won't go back. They won't fix it. Greg Olson's good about it too. Like, oh, actually, if you watch, here's why this happened. And they get into detail. And they're not afraid to call something out, be it a player or an official, but in like a respectful way. But so many, like there'll be like a blatant thing right in front of them on the replay and they just keep going on about the play. Troy Aikman, he ain't moving right past it.
Troy is so much better than Romo and Collinsworth. So much better. And, like, look, I understand those guys have been doing it for a long time, but we didn't even talk about this before the show. I was, standing in my closet listening to the game in the background. I don't even know what's going on. I just hear Troy talking. I'm like, he is so much better than the other guys. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. I thought he did a good job pointing a couple things out last night, and obviously, like, he knows Phillip has a relationship with him through Norv Turner, who Norv was obviously with both those guys, and so you could tell, he was impressed by what Phillip was able to do on a Monday night. So, yeah, Colts do lose. I think they clinched the playoffs for like 3 teams, actually, with that loss, if I'm not mistaken. We were talking about it yesterday. We were talking about some of the teams in the playoffs, like where they were. I believe that clinched it for the Bills, for the Chargers, and maybe even Jacksonville. Like, I think it actually clinched for all 3. I think that was a combination of teams, but with them losing. And so right now it is the Broncos, the 1, the Patriots, the 2, the Jags, the 3, the Steelers, 4, the Chargers, 5, the Bills, 6, and the Texans, 7. How would you like to face the Bills as a 6 seed?
No, I'm okay.
Oof.
I don't want that. Also, how about holy ugly uniforms for the Colts last night? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
It had random stripes on the sleeves. First off, I think the Colts have one of the best helmets in the league.
They do.
It's classic, and then now it's black. You can barely see the blue on it because the helmet's black. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was a bad uni. It looked like Duke. I was watching Duke out there. And I didn't like pull that back up. I know the C stands for Colts, obviously, but I was like, is everybody a captain on this team?
Okay, that
got me. I was
weird,
like, at first when I saw, I was like, oh, Phillip's the captain already? What? No, it's just for the Colts, and everybody's got a C where it looks like they're wearing the captain's patch. So, it didn't look good. For the 49ers, they had already clinched a playoff spot. They just add to their resume as they try to chase down the Seattle Seahawks. Right now, Seattle 1, Chicago 2, Philly 3, Carolina 4, San Francisco 5, LA 6, and the Green Bay Packers coming in at 7. So right now, you would have some very intriguing matchups. Obviously, Seattle would get the bye. You would have Chicago and Green Bay. You would have Philly and LA. You would have Carolina and San Francisco. Man, Chicago and Green Bay in the playoffs, that would be must-watch TV. All right, we will step away for the first time because we have got to get this show started, and we've got to get it started with some big LSU coaching news. It is officially official, and we'll break it all down when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to gcopnet.com. That is the website for Gulf Coast Office Products. Throughout the state of Louisiana, they're going to be able to certainly help you out. But look, we say it all the time. There is a reason that they are the go-to for LSU, for the Saints, for the Pelicans, for the Raging Cajun, official partners of those schools and teams, because they know that if you're in Louisiana, there is one call to make, and that is to GCOP. Because when you make that call, you're talking to a human being in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, in Mandeville, in Lafayette, somebody that's going to be able to help you right then, right there, not an answering service, not a computer. That person is going to help, because if you work in an engineering firm, a law firm, a hospital, a bank, a university, you know how important your documents are to you. So when you need it, they're always going to be there. And you can go on that website again today to find that contact information, gcopnet.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. You can let those songs breathe, too. It's okay. Like, those are hits. We're going to play some good Christmas music today. Maybe some Elvis, maybe some Michael Bublé. I mean, even 98 Degrees has a banger. I mean, all over the place. I know we like our music here. All right, let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get glowing, courtesy of GoFlow IV Spa, where hydration, vitamins, and a summer-ready glow are always on tap. Now, for starters.
All right, go to GoFlowIV.com. That is the website for GoFlow IV Spa. You can check them out on Facebook as well. You can give them a call at 225-953-8150. You can go see them right off of Jefferson Highway here in Baton Rouge, because it is sniffle season. As you can probably tell, probably need to go see GoFlow myself, and you can get in front of it, or if you've already gotten it, you can go see them to feel better. I mean, they are going to have a plan for you, so go ahead, go see them. Check out the website. You got membership packages as well, all the different IVs that they can help you out with. The website is a great tool, but also, like I said, you can always pick up the phone, give them a call, kind of tell them what you're looking to get done at 225-953-8150, and always online at GoFlowIV.com. All right, to get the show started, well, we're going to talk about the 11 football staff hires for LSU that are official, and the list is long and distinguished. And so, Tay, what does that list look like?
Yeah, I mean, we know the offensive side for quite a while now. We've known the offensive side for quite a while now. Obviously, Charlie Weisser Jr., offensive coordinator. Yesterday, or over the weekend, I guess, we talked about it yesterday, it was made official. Kevin Smith will be running backs coach and associate head coach, so exact same title Frank Wilson had. Your tight ends coach and co-offensive coordinator is Joe Cox. Interesting that little wrinkle's thrown in there.
Yep.
Receivers coach and passing game coordinator George McDonald. Inside receivers coach Sawyer Jordan. Quarterbacks coach Dane Stevens. O-line coach Eric Wolford. That's the biggest addition on the staff. On defense, you have D-line coach Sterling Lucas, which was made officially official last night. Linebackers coach and co-defensive coordinator Chris Kiffin. Again, co-defensive coordinator tag on him. Assistant D-line coach and pass rush specialist Lou Spanos. And special teams coordinator Joe Houston.
Yeah, so of those coaches, obviously, like, we've known most of them, but it is nice to see it be officially official because, well, it's college football, and you don't really know what's going to happen. And we've kind of joked about it, talked about it like everybody has. Your coaches are coaching another team in your conference in a playoff run, and they are going back and forth. And so, again, like, you never quite know how it's going to work out, but it is good to see everything be made official. And a couple of different things to kind of get to. So the Kevin Smith part, we talked about that, know him very well as a player, same draft class as Flynn and I, so know what he's all about. I think it's a big addition. And also the reports are he's already meeting with Harlem Berry, obviously. your incredibly talented true freshman running back from a year ago, to get him back into the fold. And those conversations are going to be interesting to me because you need a lot of help as far as the depth at running back. Now, it is also interesting that you're not talking about Caden Durham, because I thought Caden had a really good year. When you know the situation, you know the offensive line issues, and you still look at the stats and see what he was able to do. So you've got two that you should feel pretty good about, but you're going to need 3, 4. Like, this running back room is incredibly thin. So your first order of business is to retain players, but then we'll see what happens in the portal. And obviously, Tate, everybody is going to watch Lacey, the running back from Ole Miss, to see what his decision is if he does go into the portal and try to join his former coaches, be it a Kevin Smith, be it a Charlie Weiss Jr. and a Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned Kawan Lacey. Over at LouisianaSports.net, we actually put this out about 3 o'clock yesterday that first order of business for Kevin Smith, he met with Harlem Berry, his father, general manager Billy Glasscock. They met for about an hour on Sunday night, and obviously it was to solidify Berry's return to LSU. But the source said it would take more conversation to solidify Berry's return should Kawan Lacey elect to come to LSU. So Harlem Berry obviously wants to be the guy. If Kawan Lacey throws his hat into the ring, that obviously it makes things a little bit murky.
Right.
My thought was, I don't know why you couldn't have both of them, but if Berry wants to be the lead back, that does kind of throw a wrench in things.
Running back's a position where you're going to rotate. It's just going to happen. Like, the outliers are Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 2019 when he played 93% of the snaps, 92 and some change, round up, 93. And he led the country. Like, he led the country as far as running back usage. Like, that is not the typical, like, even if you have a stud, so you're going to have multiple guys, but are you going to have multiple top dogs, guys that think that they are the bell cow running back? And so certainly something to pay attention to, certainly a position where you're going to need some help. But look, even if you don't get Kawan Lacey and you've got Harlem Berry and Caden Durham, and you add another running back in the portal, and you add maybe another lower level running back that you think has some upside in the portal, you still got a really good running back room.
Yeah, you do. But, it's funny to me that everyone talks about Harlem Berry leaving and not Caden Durham. I'm not saying either are going to leave. I certainly don't want either to leave, but I look at Caden Durham as more of a Frank Wilson guy than I do Harlem Berry. I don't think Harlem Berry even visited other schools when he was coming out of high school. I can't remember. I mean, he's a state kid. He was kind of all LSU all the time. Durham, on the other hand, is from Texas. He doesn't really have any Louisiana ties, at least not naturally. Now, he's been here for 2 years, but it's just always been interesting to me that everyone's like, oh, well, you can't let Harlem Berry hit the transfer portal, and we're just kind of not talking about Caden Durham.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think Caden Durham is a good football player. I think he had moments last year where if we could go back, we could show you the end zone copy of the film. He got the absolute most out of what was blocked in front of him. And so you're not in a doomsday scenario because it feels like you have a good foundation, even if Lacey doesn't get in there. If your conversation with Berry went well, if you can get Caden Durham back into the fold and you add one more running back. So certainly a position to pay attention to here in the next couple of days as the transfer portal opens up in about 10 days from now. So, all right, some other staff hires. We mentioned 11 that are officially official. Sterling Lucas is now your defensive line coach. And after a couple of different names, a couple of different rumors thrown out there, Tate, you end up getting a guy that's very well respected and somebody that has had, some top tier players, that he's recruited that have played underneath him, and he knows the SEC as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to get Dylan Stewart to South Carolina, which was a big-time recruit at the time. Jordan Birch, I believe, was there under him at one point. He had eventually transferred, but he was a 5-star out of high school. South Carolina's been known for their D-line. Like, that was kind of what they hung their hat on defensively the last 2 or 3 years. I think it's a good hire. I mean, I know you wanted Elijah Robinson. It looked like you were at the finish line there. Then he backed off. You wanted Kyle to stay. He didn't really want to stick around. I think as far as hiring a guy this late in the process, it's kind of your final piece to the staff. I'm not sure how much better you could have done.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think, considering you're a little bit later, and I know it's crazy because it's only December, but all these coaches already making their moves. So Sterling Lucas, now defensive line coach for LSU. You mentioned like co-offensive coordinator with Joe Cox, also co-defense coordinator with Chris Kiffin. When you see that, what's your first thought?
The co-defensive coordinator to me is interesting just because, you fought hard to get Blake Baker back, right? Like you thought he was going to Tulane. You convinced him to stay. That's a little weird to me. Co-OC, you had that last year with Hankton and Joe Sloan. The past 2 years, It was pretty much Joe Sloan, right? He was the play caller. It's going to be the same with Charlie Weiss Jr., but the defensive one's a little interesting to me.
Really, honestly, when you see something like this, it's really, okay, like obviously we're going to come up with a game plan, and Blake does such a great job of allowing his staff to, when they're putting everything together, like they implement their own ideas into the game plan. So I don't think Blake's going to have an issue with this. And also, like, it's also a way to get somebody a title, get them a little bit more money, and maybe
like associate head coach.
Yeah, and a little bit more responsibilities as well. Look, it's going to be Blake's defense. It's going to be Blake Baker. It's going to be, everything that we've seen over the last couple of years. And we talked about it before it even happened. Lane Kiffin, such a fan of Blake Baker, talked about what it was like trying to game plan against that guy. He is going to be the guy calling plays, but you do have, and look, linebackers as well. So that means Blake's just basically having the opportunity to roam around, go from all three levels of the defense. Now, I'm sure he's going to be obviously eye hustling the linebackers. That's going to be a point of focus for him, but you do now give him the ability to be able to coach on all three levels on any given practice at any given time.
Lou Spanos stood out to me just because of his title. So he's assistant D-line coach, but also pass rush specialist. To me, that's kind of what Kevin Peoples does. And I know him and Blake are really close. He coaches the edges, and that's what they do is rush the passer. That one's a little interesting to me. Like, is he interior pass rush specialist? What's going on there?
Yeah. A lot of different titles, a lot of different coaches. Every position group certainly has somebody that's going to be in charge of it. Every single position, no matter where you at, you're going to have. Surprised they don't have a fullbacks coach. Although if they had a fullbacks coach, I would throw my name in there. I think I could get that done, but they don't have a fullback, so we can't get that done. Joe Houston going to be special teams coordinator as well. LSU's been a place that's kind of had one, gone away from it, had one, gone away from it, and just kind of who they've been over the last couple of years. This staff looks like, okay, no, special teams is going to be a point of focus.
I think it has to be. Look, you could say Kelly had this shortcoming and that shortcoming. I think Brian Kelly's Achilles heel his whole time at LSU was special teams. I thought it was bad. Now, at times it was good. Like your field goal kickers were good, but your coverage unit wasn't good. Your punt unit wasn't good, except for last year. Like Chadwick gave you some stability, but it was shaky till then. I do like the fact that they have a special teams coordinator because Kelly just at times was kind of like, we'll throw anybody in there and kind of make them the special teams coordinator. And I thought they struggled there.
All right, we will take a break, certainly come back to some of this conversation, but when we come back, let's take a look at the entire SEC. We'll do it with our guy Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South, and we'll do it right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to getgordon.com, the website for Gordon McKernan injury attorneys throughout the state of Louisiana. We tell you all the time, they are going to be able to help you out. So go to that website, again, getgordon.com, and when you go there, know that you can have a chat with a live agent going to pull up right there on the homepage. You can check out cases that they can handle for you in the courtroom, past client results right there on the homepage of the website. You can see also like what they're doing in the community, because we always tell you, like, throughout the state of Louisiana, they're always doing something big in the community. That's from everywhere, Shreveport to Houma to Baton Rouge to Monroe, Alexandria, wherever it is. And remember, you can always pick up the phone. You can give them a call. All you got to remember is your area code, because it's your area code no matter where you're at, followed by the 8s. 888-8888. And again, always online at getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here on this Tuesday morning. Going to go to my guy now, Connor O'Gara at CJ O'Gara is the handle on social media. Give him a follow there. Of course, doing big things as always for Saturday Down South. Connor, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. You know, I was wondering, when is the socially acceptable time to just stop working altogether this week and just kind of shut down for 2 weeks? Because I realize I'm asking someone who's too gritty to be pretty, but you know, it does feel like we're at that place right now on the work calendar.
Yeah, so this is my last show for a long time over on Sirius XM yesterday, which you joined us there. That was our last show of the year. Now, the work doesn't stop because Cole Kubelik and I are going to do the Sugar Bowl. So we'll do media day for that, and then we'll cover the game. But, like, today's kind of it. Like, today's like that last day of school before you get out for the summer. So we're just kind of wilding. Like, whatever we want to do, whatever we want to talk about, like, it's free game, you know?
Would turn on Elf. That was big when I was in like middle school. I remember that was always, hey, teachers are going to mail it in this last day. We're going to do absolutely nothing. So that means nothing I say here can actually be held against me. All of my takes are just going to be, you know, kind of last day of school before winter break type.
That's right. Holiday takes. So we won't hold you against them. What about like traditions for you? Like, I know you got a little one now, so, like, I don't know if you're trying to start, like, tradition and, like, hey, on Christmas Eve, we're going to make sure we watch this, or maybe we play these songs in this order. Everybody's got a little bit different traditions. Have we decided what we're going to start?
So it's difficult for us because we live in Central Florida. We live in Orlando.
Sure.
And
probably hotter than hot right now.
All of our family. It's going to be 78 degrees today.
Yeah.
A little bit toasty. So we have family back in the Midwest, and then on Christmas we stay here now instead of going back to the Midwest and dealing with the Orlando airport, which anyone who's listening who knows the Orlando airport, it is just the last place on earth that I would want to be around Christmas time. It is, in my opinion, just the single worst place. And so we will go to Dunedin, Florida, which is down by Clearwater. We'll go there the day after Christmas, spend a nice long weekend down there, and then come back and we'll be ready to go for the college football playoff.
All right. Are you going anywhere? Are you going to any of the playoff games, the quarterfinals?
I might be I'm not going anywhere for the quarterfinals, and I'm going to have FOMO with the Rose Bowl, the way that this is playing out with my alma mater, Indiana. Being there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've never been to the Rose Bowl. I'm very far from the Rose Bowl, which is
about
kind
as far
of
as you
an
can
issue.
be.
Yeah. So if I were closer, like if I lived in the Midwest, I think I'd be making this trip. Or if this were, you know, my days in my 20s where I didn't have parenting responsibilities, probably a little bit easier to justify.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and just start on that game. Indiana, Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Obviously, it's a game that nobody had in the preseason. We didn't know that Indiana would not only run it back, but they'd run it back at a higher clip. And then, you know, for Alabama, it's like, oh, man, they're playing so bad the last month of the season. They're down 17-0, but all of a sudden they come back. And it's a very intriguing matchup. I still favor Indiana. I just think Indiana has shown too many times they're the best team in the country, and they can play with anybody. How do you see that game going? Like, what are some things you're looking for in that game?
Indiana's a better team. I mean, that's the weird thing to see this as like Marler and I, our mutual friend, we've talked about how strange it is to be living in a world in which Indiana is a touchdown favorite against Alabama. Indiana's the top seed in the college football playoff, and you can't really argue against it at this point. They've just been the more complete team. I think there are a lot of people that if you were skeptical about Indiana, you watch what they did against Ohio State, against that loaded defense and the clutch plays that they made, and you thought, okay, this is the team that's really got national championship type upside. Yeah. I think there's maybe 3 games out of 10 that these two teams could play in which Alabama could win. And it's more about the question of, can Alabama actually find one of those games in Pasadena, because let's not forget that Indiana's done all these great things and first outright Big Ten championship since 1945. They haven't won a bowl game of any kind since 1991. I didn't know how to use a toilet yet. Last time Indiana won a bowl game.
Hell, I was 6.
Here we are. Right.
I'm already in my Mike Gundy age.
Exactly. So you get like this is a history that we're talking about here. But I think this matchup's going to be fascinating because Alabama still can't run the football. If the season ended today, they'd have their worst rushing attack since 1955. Like this is an Indiana team that can absolutely get after you. I think they're going to miss Stephen Daly up front, who's got 19 TFLs this year. Him getting hurt with the post Big Ten championship celebration is huge. But I do think Indiana's the better team. It's just a question of whether or not we're going to see it.
All right, in the other matchup involving SEC teams, it's all SEC. So it's going to be the Georgia Bulldogs and the Ole Miss Rebels. And obviously, here in Baton Rouge, we're paying attention to Ole Miss because, their coaches are our coaches. And, they're going back and forth right now. And, that's an interesting dynamic. Now, they did a heck of a job in round number 1, but Georgia is a little bit different than the Green Wave. So how do you see this matchup going, considering last time, Ole Miss had every opportunity. They just couldn't finish the game.
It is weird to think about that, to think about being at that moment in the fourth quarter where Ole Miss had a 2-score lead, and to think now, I think I'm, looking at this matchup going, I don't know how Ole Miss is going to stay on the field with them for 60 minutes. And I think that so much of Ole Miss and what they'd like to be able to do late in games hinges on the health of Kejuan Lacey. Yep. If he is unable to go after a remarkable season in which he breaks the Ole Miss single-season touchdown record, and he is this finisher for them, if he is banged up at all with that shoulder, it hurts them. Yeah. Their second leader in terms of carries out of the backfield is former LSU running back Logan Diggs with 29 carries. This is not a typical Lane Kiffin backfield in terms of distribution. And if they don't have him ready to go, that's a huge problem for that offensive staff, because I think you need everything working against this Georgia defense, which is peaking at the exact right time. They finally figured out how to get those stops consistently. It was so weird looking up all these weeks and not seeing Georgia in the top 20 in Max Olson's stop rate, which I always think is a really good indicator of how your defense is actually performing. So, Georgia is a team that's figuring it out and having extra rest, knowing that they're getting maybe a little bit of a banged-up version of Ole Miss. I think it plays right into the Dogs' hands, and I just trust Gunnar Stockton at this point. So I think Georgia wins and then covers the touchdown spread.
Yeah, and also the way they played in last year's Sugar Bowl, that was weird to see Notre Dame bully the bully. I did not have that going into that game, but that's exactly how it happened. And you and I both know Kirby well enough, how many times he's preached that this week not to half-step into this game.
And you've probably seen the video, the not suitable for work audio that came out. Let's just say Kirby's on one this week. Kirby's going to be ready to go. Yeah. He's going to have the troops fired up to go into that atmosphere, which was a place where their season fell apart last year. And you're right, that won't be lost on that team. I think it's going to show this arc of Gunnar Stockton in so many different ways. And Georgia's just a different team, too. Their pass catching options have been so much better. Zachariah Branch has been even better than advertised, and he's going to be really difficult for this Ole Miss defense to shut down. Ole Miss has the worst defense left in the college football playoff. They've allowed a ton of yards, and they've just been bend, don't break. They've been really good in some of these key spots. So I think that's advantage Georgia, and ultimately Kirby's going to get some revenge in the Sugar Bowl.
All right, Connor, last one before we let you go. Give me your dream matchup in the national championship game. If you could pick two teams to be there because you think that would be the best game, the best matchup, and everybody would be entertained.
Indiana and Georgia.
Yeah,
we saw Indiana and Ohio State. It was a great game. Yeah. It was awesome. The rematch would get great billing. I want to see Indiana against the premier SEC team, the team that everybody's looking at right now going, I think they're the only team out of the SEC that can win a title. Yeah. And I would love to see what that looks like on that stage, because yes, we're going to see Indiana against Alabama. So in theory, if they get to a national championship, they're going to have to get through Bama. But we've seen Bama is not the premier team in the SEC right now. So to me, that would be most fascinating. Also on a personal level, got a lot of Georgia friends in my life.
Yeah.
It would be very surreal to watch my school playing against Georgia in a national championship game. A sentence that just sounds more like it's from a video game than from actual real life. So I think that would be the best game. I think those are the two most complete teams, and seeing those quarterbacks in those clutch moments, they've been the two most clutch quarterbacks all season too, which I think is part of it. So I think that would be the matchup that would really move the needle, and it would be this great geographical matchup to Big Ten versus SEC, which we haven't been able to see in these national championships in recent memory. So I'd be all here for that.
All right, there he is, our guy, Connor O'Gara, Saturday down south at CJ O'Gara. Give him a follow there on social media. Connor, we appreciate it. Merry Christmas, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks, bud. Merry Christmas.
All right, my guy, Connor O'Gara, always good enough to join us here to break down everything SEC, although he is an Indiana grad, so this has to be just the wildest moment for him, knowing that Indiana has a chance, a real opportunity to play for a national championship and win a national championship. All right, we'll step away, wrap up hour number 1. When we come back here, it is OTB live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to pelicanroof.com, the website for Pelican Roofing. And when you go there, we always encourage you, check out the 5-star reviews. It's the first thing that you see on the homepage. Over 600 5-star reviews. They are unmatched with their expertise in the roofing game. And, well, the reviews are going to back that up. Also, you can check out the testimonials. We're not just talking about telling you about the 5 stars. We're actually diving into the details of the 5-star ratings, again, right there on the homepage. And always remember, in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, offices in both, not driving back and forth on the basin. No, they are boots on the ground in both those local communities. And they're always doing things in the local communities. I mean, sponsoring youth teams, like whatever it is, they are there for those communities, always doing big things there as well. And always the only option for your roof repairs, your roof replacement. They are truly the best. That's not just me saying it. That's you saying that. Go to pelicanroof.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
Happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happy.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. Want to remind you about our friends over at Rejuve-Me, because if you're dragging through the day, low energy, can't recover like you once could, or maybe your weight's just not falling off like it once did, it might be time to get your labs checked minus the might. And that's where Rejuve-Me Medical comes in. They are Louisiana-based, doctor-led, and everything they do is customized to you. IV therapy, hormone replacement, we always talk about, weight loss programs, the entire shebang. They're going to be there for you. There's no guessing. There's no gimmicks, just the real data and real results that you're looking for. So if you want to feel better, perform better, and get back to moving like you once could, head over to our friends over at RejuveMeMedical.com. You can book your consultation today. Remember, locations throughout the state of Louisiana, so no matter where you're listening to us in the state, they have a location near you. RejuveMeMedical.com. All right, LSU Basketball got a win last night. They take down Prairie View A&M 104-90. It looked a little hairy there, certainly going into the locker room at halftime. You were down 5. You come back and you outscore Prairie View A&M 53-34 in the second half. And so you avoid disaster. You avoid getting a blemish on that record where you've had a really nice run. The only loss you have in your 11-1 season is to Texas Tech, a good basketball team. You beat SMU, right? We talked about that in Linked the other day when we had Coach Matt McMahon on. So, like, you could not afford – the optics of that would have been horrendous because you've built up some equity. Like, you've built up some excitement. You're one of the teams that has received the most top 25 votes that's not in the top 25, right? So you got some real momentum And so you're able to find a way in the second half. And Tate, this team continues to score points. That's one thing they can do. It's not been the case in the last couple of years, but this team can put the ball in the basket. Now, when they go cold, because they got some defensive issues, that's where they get in trouble. But they are scoring at a very high clip.
They are, and they shot bad last night. 7 of 19 from 3. That's 36%. Prairie View A&M shot out of their minds 57% from 3. As poorly as LSU shot, you scored 104 points because you were 43 of 49 from the free throw line.
Yep.
That's incredible. 1, to get there that many times. 2, to make it. That's how you win games when the shots aren't falling for you. Because let's be honest, Jake, on defense, they were late in transition. I thought they were sloppy on their three-point closeouts, which led to open shots. But they are finding different ways to score the basketball. Because right now, outside of Max McKinnon, you don't have a ton of three-point shooting. You need to get that fixed. But 104 is 104. Clean it up on the defensive end. You got one more game before SEC play.
Yes, and I don't know what it looks like in the SEC. And I know this seems like a bad mentality to have. But, and the league's not as good as it was a year ago. You're not going to get 14 of 16. But your goal should be to play 500 basketball in the SEC, find your way into the NCAA tournament, and create some real positive momentum for this LSU men's basketball program. So, again, wasn't pretty, but they get a win last night, 104-90. Now you've got Southern Miss at home before you go on the road against Texas A&M. All right, hour number 2, OTB, coming back your way.
Off the bench.